I've already made a card today. We're going to make another one sort of similar. So this one, I made this red background with the alcohol blending, without the alcohol inks. And then on top of it, I did some embossing and then sort of cut them up into little squares and then made a card about it. So I'm going to make one sort of a card in the similar style as this one, but using this green swatch here also. So I have a 5x7 card that I've already created that's going to be side opening, and with it I have created or already cut some squares that are 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch. So they'll fit over this way for the card itself. Okay, so that's what I already have kind of ready to go. Okay, so on top of this, I'm going to use some Versamark and do some embossing. And I'm using a stamp set from Inka Dinka Doo called Fossil Leaves. So I'm going to ink up my stamps with some Versamark. I'm going to stamp them in gold. This is going to be from Gary M. Berlin Company, Mirror Gold. I got this at a scrapbook convention. Okay, and for these, I'm going to emboss it in some Zing Chestnut. Okay, I think this technique is pretty forgiving, depending on the stamps that you're using. You can sort of just stamp them kind of in a random pattern. Now we're going to take a cutter and we're going to cut these into strips. So my larger squares were 1.5 by 1.5. I'm going to make these slightly smaller, and I'm going to cut it this way, I suppose. So I'm going to cut it 1 and 3/8. All right, so we're going to cut them same way here. 1 3/8. Okay, so that gives me sort of 9 puzzle pieces. And I can see I kept them in the right order here. So now all I'm going to do is take these and glue them within one of the other squares that I've already cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll probably speed this up. Okay, so I have them all cut and sort of matted on these other squares. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put them on here. Now, you could be super precise about this. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the sort of center of my card so that I know where I should place this one. And then I'm going to kind of eyeball the rest of them from there. So, and I'm going to speed this up as well. So here I've kept them fairly tight together. I started with that middle one, and I knew that, you know, as long as I kept this middle one here, and then I keep the distances between the two of them the same, I basically have everything centered. So doing the middle one first up here helps a lot, and since it's a grid and everything all lines up, it's a little bit forgiving too, because even if you're not exactly precise, you know, when a person looks at this, it wants to make all of the lines matched up. The brain likes to make those things line up anyway. So even if you're, you know, you're off just a tiny little bit, like I can tell actually this gap here is not perfectly straight between the alcohol ink piece and the matte. It's thinner up here than it is there. But when I look at this, I don't really tell that. And because I wanted this image all together, I wanted to keep them fairly close together again, so the eye is sort of connecting, you know, that this is one leaf here and this is one leaf, even though it appears on multiple panels. It sort of helps the brain sort of keep them all together. In this other one I didn't have an image that you know, went together. Now these two pieces happen to go together, but otherwise I sort of mixed up some flourishes and just some geometric patterns and just some other things. So I kept the gaps between them a little bit bigger, and the alcohol ink pieces are not quite as big over here, so there's more matte that you see. You see more of the white piece here than you do on the green. I think I rather like the smaller gaps here between the matte. But anyway, you know, I certainly like this card, but I do like the smaller mattes here, and that makes it feel a lot more sort of cohesive. Okay. All right, so let's finish this card up. Okay, for this one, I think I'm going to use just a thin piece of ribbon. This is some Stampin' Up! A 1/4-inch cotton ribbon in, what color is this? Early Espresso. And I think I'm gonna not put a sentiment on this. I like this. I think I'm just going to keep it without a sentiment on it. I'm going to add a little bow. Okay, I think that's it. I think I'm going to keep it real simple. I was thinking about putting a sentiment down here like I did in the other one, but I really love how this is, I love just the picture up here in the front. I think it's visually very stunning. So I'm going to keep the focus on here. This is kind of an all occasions card anyway. You could put whatever sentiment you want in the middle of it. And certainly if you want to sort of try a card similar to like this, you could certainly put a sentiment down here at the bottom. But okay, that's it for today's video. Comments, questions, leave them below. If you like this video, click that thumbs up button. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe to Divinely Designed, and check back here for more soapy and crafty videos. And have a great rest of your weekend, everyone. Bye now. I guess I can